GM?
Oh, it was just making me cry, dude. The idea of the numbers actually going up.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's hard to tell what's going on where it's like 5 days ago, they're saying that, April 2nd is basically doomsday. And then today we're having some kind of reversal or something. Correction.
Oh, well, it is April Fool's Day, so it is maybe just a joke after all, isn't it? I just noticed it was April Fool's Day. I was kind of worried that you were playing a prank on me with that video. I haven't opened my wallet. I don't know the prices.
The prices are better today. I mean, if you want to just look at like, where's that heat map? Let's see here. Well, my heat map is gone flat, but yeah, I mean, everything's green for the most part today. It's a little tiny pump after, down only for, I don't know, a week now or something. Still just dealing with tariff stuff, tariff announcements. Some people, maybe there's a little correction today because there are people speculating that there's going to basically be no tariffs that happen tomorrow. I find that kind of hard to believe when the whole point of April 2nd is like, I forgot what they're calling it. He Trump coined a phrase where it was like America Liberation Day or something. So yeah, because it's going to be like this like slew of tariffs. So I highly doubt there's not going to be any tariffs, but I guess somebody knows something that we don't know.
Well, I have been seeing a lot of really unfortunate news, I would imagine, for us being Americans. In terms of economic dominance, right? That was in China, Japan, and like Vietnam or something signed some trade treaty.
Yeah, I saw a brief thing about that as well, where somebody said, "Hey,
actually matters for us," but
yeah, like somebody said, "Hey, great job driving, two of our only allies in Asia straight to China."
And we got that video from the guy from Canada saying like Trump has irreparably damaged our relationship. He's like he found out we cheated on him or something. Oh yeah, Korea, that's right. That's even worse. That's
load the Korea FUD.
Yeah, but that's why we're in crypto, dude. Because Bitcoin, Sonic, they don't belong to any kind of nation state, dude. So even if here's America, if it all goes kaput, I'll always have my Sonic tokens. You know what I mean?
That's right. They can't take those from you unless they get your private key or access to your desktop, which they might have very soon anyway. No, I mean, as I always say, Bitcoin Weekly is usually what I keep an eye on in terms of just overall market sentiment. And it's like, if you're just watching Bitcoin Weekly, then you're probably not too shaken up. I mean, in terms of zooming out, we're just kind of, once again, we were ranging forever, had a macro nuke. Now we're just, had a bit of a recovery, and now we're just ranging again. I feel like everyone's just kind of waiting for that sign, like waiting to say, okay, the market's back on track. Time to pump it again. Time to resume business.
Yeah. What do you think that would be for people? A steady march upwards?
Yeah, hopefully. I feel like we were, the markets were moving steadily up, and then we introduced all this, uncertainty, and even like looking at S here, this is the daily on S. If you just looked at the chart, you would be like, okay, this doesn't really look like that too scary of a chart, right? There's just a lot of, we're just kind of ranging here. We did, drop under this support, but it looks like we're fighting against it. Hopefully we break back above that, but who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? There's a lot of stuff, basically, that we're waiting on right now. So we're waiting on the Fed again. We're waiting on those tariffs. That's why I said over the weekend, you should probably just go touch grass. Don't, get yourself freaked out all weekend. It is kind of like a holding pattern, right? It's a little boring.
It is. Not if you're managing an LP though. Then it's exciting, dude.
Yeah, every day you have something to do if you have some LP, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all in all, I'll take a green candle over a red candle, that's for sure. So
yeah,
I'm still in the hang tight camp right now, basically.
Yeah, can you throw up those? I don't know if you have it on this chart. Do you have the volume staggered on the right again?
Oh
What was that
yeah,
called?
let's
The
see.
alligator? Not the alligator.
The VRVP.
There we go. Yeah, I was gonna say because it felt like yeah, like Sonic kind of like falls down the stairs like a granny sometimes. Like the chart, like it just bounces all the way down. I guess it could be any asset if you're looking at the chart, but uh I was hoping for like this kind of like recovery period.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, the good news is that like the way a lot of people use this indicator on like the
Mhm.
volume profile is like you're looking for like stuff like this where
Mhm.
that's telling you like nobody's really buying around here. So that's the stuff, where you get scared, where you're like, okay, like there's like a ton of buy and sell here and there's like nothing going on here. And that usually means like, okay, there's definitely going to be like some volatility in this area, whether that means, it can really make some ground going up or down. In this case, obviously, this was like around the
yeah, that was
initial
a
tariff.
well. That's what I was gonna say. Is like that's around like the 60 cent range, right? That's like when a like crashed like through that like so fast.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it
Yes. Yeah. Cause that's the thing. Like I said, if
run
you,
straight from like six or like 70 cents or 65 just straight to like 50.
yeah. Cause like I said, I mean, if you have less info, less going on here in the profile, then you can pretty much guarantee that there's going to be like a strong move in that area because it's easier to move around. So that's the good news here is that obviously there is a lot going on here. People obviously feel like this is a buy area. So I think that's all we really need right now is that, macro isn't everything, especially to the markets and crypto, but obviously right now it's having a pretty strong effect. So
Yeah.
let's see
I'm
here.
thinking, yeah, I mean, it's kind of really hard to say with the macro because it is looking apocalyptic out there, dude. Every day I get a new headline that's like it's all over. Everything is all over, guaranteed recession and housing market crash, stagflation.
Maybe the worst part is gold hitting all these new
Yeah.
gold breaking all these records. So, you got
Mhm.
to deal with what's his face on the timeline, Peter Schiff or whatever,
Yeah.
being
Peter
like,
Schiff.
it was worth it. I held gold for 40 years and it was worth it.
Yeah. Look, every dog has his day,
Yeah, that's
Wasn't
true. So
wasn't everyone
he,
running around pointing and laughing at him for
he's taken enough L's, I guess, that he deserves something, right? But yeah, now we got Sam here from Paintswap today. Got all kinds of stuff. I don't think we've ever had these guys on the show, and they always got a ton going on.
surely we've had
So
paint here before.
maybe, but I don't think we have. So Sam, what's going on, brother?
Hello, Sam Paint Swamp.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Going well, man. Just sitting here saying we're not necessarily we haven't made it yet, but at least it's not over.
Well, have you made it yet, Sam?
Not yet.
So when somebody did. Anyway, what's cooking, Sam?
Oh, what isn't cooking? Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
got a lot
guys
going
got
on.
yeah, I got a little list before the show today, and it was like 20 things that you guys were working on. But first and foremost, I guess we could say congrats on the market on Sonic. The redesign looks great. Seems like NFTs with the like market, like I said, even though right now we're dealing with some macro stuff, with the market in general being better than it was in the bear market, you have kind of seen like a resurgence in like NFT volume.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, compared to what we had on Phantom, it's quite. I'm quite impressed, to be honest. It's blown my expectations.
Yeah, and I mean, how long did you guys work on this like redesign? Because it is like super clean.
That took about 6-7 months since like last May we started working on that. But it's been mostly done by Rafa, one of our new devs. We just kind of said, we got a new designer because we never really had one. He designed everything in about a month, and then we were like, new dev, this is what we want, make it. 6 months.
Yeah, well, that's a huge help for sure. I mean, obviously, like UI on like an NFT market, it's like pretty important, and yeah, I mean, it's just like massive upgrade. But yeah, no, it is cool to see NFTs like getting some getting some volume on the network since, like especially like in the bear market, it's just like I feel like NFTs are kind of like one of the first things that really take like a sharp hit because there's people that really just love to collect NFTs that don't even mess with like DeFi or tokens that much. But for a lot of people, it's kind of almost like it's almost like a luxury item or something. And it seems like, in this last bear market, they took a beating. So I think it's bullish to see like NFTs kind of making a comeback.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, one of the issues we had on Fantom, we just kept pumping out features for it, but we never, because we didn't have a designer, it kind of just went all over the place. So that was one of our biggest complaints we got, was like they like all the features, but they just didn't like the UX around it, which I agreed with. So I'm really glad we got a really nice, slick marketplace now. It's what Sonic deserves.
Yeah, no, it's great, man. And then it's like there's so many things to cover, but I guess the first thing we could talk about was this like stress test you guys just ran, the Click Royale.
Yeah. So this was kind of something fun we wanted to work on after we did the hackathon submission, because we had just been like pretty much since Sonic, we'd just been going full out, getting the migration sorted. There was a lot to do. So we wanted to see what Sonic's capable of. So we made this where you create 10 accounts, and then you just spam a button as fast as you can, and it's going to mint points that you'll be able to later claim for S. Just because we need to incentivize people to do it.
Yeah, for sure. And so this first test was it was on the Blaze testnet, right? So you're still gearing up for like a mainnet test.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we wanted to just check there were no issues with the site or network before we did like a really big publicized mainnet test. And that, I think, hit 1.3k TPS. And you've also got to remember that the Blaze is not set up for loads of transactions. Like, it doesn't have as much infrastructure as the mainnet does.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what the mainnet can push. And that is planned. We might do another Blaze one just so people who didn't do the first one can get like a feel for it in like a week or two. And then the mainnet one will be during Sonic Summit. So everyone in the audience will be in the audience will be like,
yeah, that's a cool idea. It's a cool idea for the summit. And yeah, that's like I guess about a month away. What is it, May 5th, I think, through the 7th, somewhere around there.
So you're collecting points just for clicking, dude. This is what the people wanted all along, Sandwich.
Oh yes, and those points can be redeemed for S as well. We're gonna have $10,000 worth of S that will be given out.
Clicked for S, dude. It's just that simple.
Well,
it's that simple.
Yeah, I know that if you were worried about getting enough people before giving away S, I think you'll get enough people for this next one.
Oh yeah. Do I get a point for every time I click? Or just for do I get points just for participating?
Every time you click, you'll get.
So the faster I click.
Yeah, as long as the network can process as fast as you're clicking.
Okay.
Yeah, you get 10,000 points for every account, and you got 10 accounts, so you get 100,000 points if all those transactions go through.
Hey, Corval scheming over here.
I got a plan. There's a public library right down the road from me, and there's a lot of guys that hang around there that I think I could motivate for a couple less.
It's actually really fun, even though you just do something simple. Like by the end of it, if you've clicked fast enough, your shoulder's aching. It's like it's just the right amount of time. Where it's like you don't want to give up, but you got.
Yeah, because the whole thing lasts like 1 minute. 1 minute,
yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty funny.
That's like a crazy test. Yeah, it's like a test of your own fortitude, dude. I love it.
Yeah. So you're probably gonna do another test net, but then you're gonna unveil the big mainnet test at Summit, which is that'll be pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. I guess before we had talked about Click, you had mentioned your AI hackathon, and there's actually. Let me bring it up here. Hackathon. You guys had kind of for the hackathon, you had like developed what you're calling the Paintswap game engine.
Yeah. It's now called the Paintswap AI game engine, or Page for short. Yeah,
and so basically, it's kind of like from what I've gathered from it, it's like you can basically like create like a Web3 game with like no code, right?
What?
That's right.
Yeah, that is.
No one thought it could be done. Like when I suggested it, everyone's like, "No, that's not enough time. This AI is not good enough." And to be honest, AI wasn't good enough. And then a week before the hackathon ended, it became good enough because Claude released their thinking mode, and it was way better. So it was actually able to create games you could play, whereas before it was like you maybe had a square that maybe worked, maybe didn't.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, so basically like it's no code, but it can even basically deploy smart contracts, like everything.
Yep. Yeah, it's really secure as well. Yeah, that back end stuff took so long because you don't want to just execute arbitrary code to deploy a contract because it could literally do anything to your system. So we need to sandbox all of that. So it's all secure and it can do.
Crazy.
Sorry. Yeah, it can do 3D models now. I don't. The hackathon version can't. But like, so my initial vision was you got like an NFT community. They've got NFT, they've got art. You could just plug that contract address in. It would scan all the images, scan all the metadata, and then just create a game from that.
Dude, that is nuts. So is this thing live already, or are you guys still kind of like waiting to push the final version?
It's not ready for public use yet, even though there is a beta link available. It's only like so like a hackathon version. I don't know if you've ever done hackathons, but you know the code isn't always like production ready. You just try to get something out. You don't have enough time. You don't have enough time to like perfect it. So they're but we've improved it a lot. And we've also got a version 2, which is like how you would imagine a proper game engine would look. You got workspaces. It shows you all the code. You can change little things without actually writing anything. So that's going to be insane.
Like I'm looking here. I mean, it's wild. It handles the smart contract stuff, the front end, even makes music and takes, creates all your art assets and everything, which I think that would be a really awesome idea if you could just pull like the assets and the art concepts like straight from an NFT collection.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty sweet.
So do you guys kind of have like a so you said there's a beta, is that like available for anyone to play with, or is it like you guys have an idea of like when you're gonna push the main one out?
So the original beta was only meant for the hackathon like judges, but I think they then released all the stuff so then anyone could see the link. So that version is technically the unfinished hackathon version. I know some people have played with it and actually made something.
That's awesome.
It's not ready yet, no. But.
Yeah, no, man, that is like super exciting though. That is like a really, really cool concept, and I mean just humming along because, like I said, there's so many things to talk about. Maybe what you guys have, towards the end of Phantom, especially, I think that was, probably more popular than Paintswap even at that point. Congrats on everything you guys have done with that. How has S4 been, like, how have things been going on Sonic since you guys have migrated?
Yeah, S4's been doing great. So when we migrated, I rewrote pretty much all the code to upgrade all the libraries and frameworks it was using. Just because you get a fresh start, so you can improve on stuff that you sort of regretted doing. So you've done smart contract dev before. You're like, oh, I wish I didn't do that. But you're like, tough luck. But now I could everything I found that I wanted to improve, I did. So it was a complete like redesign of all the contract code.
That's definitely a great feeling to have a do-over and do all the little things that you notice over time, and it's like, that's got to feel good. So I guess for anyone that's like not familiar, do you kind of want to just like run over like what S4 is? I'm sure most people are familiar at this point, but
so it's like an idle RuneScape in a ELDR version. So you got 17 skills you can upgrade to level, I think it's 140 now. It was 100 on Phantom, and then we increased it.
You can see all the skills down here.
Yep, and then there's a few in combat. So it's got an order book marketplace where people can trade items. Like everything in it can be traded. It's got pets, clans, Clans are a big thing that keep a lot of community members together. Like a lot of the clans have more active discords than our one.
Yeah, I know that there are some clans that are like really, really into it.
Oh wow, the newcomers, dude.
The newcomers, man. They're I guess they're taking over, man.
Top tier, bro.
Yeah, so all these clans they're always battling over territories and locked vaults. So there's always like competition going on between them. And that's something that's going to come later as well for just normal PvP. So you got clan PvP, but not like hero to hit, just normal hero to hero PvP, but that's coming. So the journal is something I'm always fascinated by. So you can see everything that goes on in the game. You can see. So
wow. Yeah. Look at this. Yeah. It's like advanced statistics here.
Yeah. So if you scroll down, you can also filter by loads of different stuff, but you can see like that guy's mining. So the block. Yeah. So everything here is verifiable. That's what I love about the blockchain stuff. Everything that someone's done, you can verify.
It's like big brother page right here.
Yeah. So currently, you see those like kind of blue scrolls, the blue and green scrolls. So those are tickets that you can redeem for gems later. So if you wanted an incentive to play this, and it doesn't take up a lot of time because it's an idle game. So you can queue up something for 24 hours and then come back tomorrow and get your loot.
Yeah, that's one thing I actually really like about it, and I'm like way behind. I had like a thing going on Phantom, and I like still haven't even like started it back up on Sonic, but I actually loved that aspect of it. That just kind of while you're checking your your wallets or moving some stuff around or farming or whatever, you can hop over there real quick, kind of set up like your new stuff, and it just runs. But I feel like people might not be like totally aware that you guys do have gems to give away for this stuff. So I mean, it's definitely worth checking out. I mean, that's earning you points towards the airdrop. So that's actually pretty big,
Yep. Well, not the airdrop, like the Sonic airdrop, but the gems.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is like you can earn gems for the Sonic airdrop. Okay, yeah. Pilot Zone says he got his little brother into it. And he has a small Sonic bag. See, that's awesome, man. Nice. That's what it's all about,
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I do think S4's because like Double Sharp made a graphs of all the games on Sonic, and I think S4 is it's the cheapest one to play like consistently.
Yeah,
so we've had people play. If you click the leaderboard, you can see the age it's coming up to 2 years. Some of them.
Yeah, wow, that's wild.
Yeah, 585 days. That's crazy.
Yeah,
look at Paintoshi up there, dude.
Yeah, look at that. Ecologist is in the top 10.
Yeah, he was number 1 for quite a while.
Yeah, he's in 585 days, so he was there day 1.
Oh yeah, I think he's got ID 5 maybe or something. Yeah, he was because he's in Australia. He stayed up till like 3 a.m. because he wanted to be like one of the first ones to mint. So we stayed up especially for that because we had the
flex.
because we had the alpha and beta versions as well before, where people could get like a taste of it. So we had a lot of people wanting to get in there straight away. Because this was back when Phantom, there wasn't really a lot to do.
Yeah, I mean, that was it was honestly something really cool to put out there at the time, where we've talked about it on the show before, where especially towards kind of like the tail end of Phantom, there was, pretty little activity because, people that were building things were mostly preparing for Sonic at that point, especially like that last year or so. So I remember when you guys put that out, it was kind of like, oh man, like it's, nice to have something to do every day.
Oh yes, yeah, because it was just meant to be like a little small side project. That
I remember when it came out, people were actually coming to Phantom to play it. So I mean that says a lot because it feels like gaming in general on chain. There's always big hopes and dreams, but often it kind of falls flat in terms of like, oh, people think games are gonna, bring new people to the chain or bring people to like do activity on the chain that the game's on. And you actually really saw that with S4, which I thought was cool. I mean, like what that comment we just threw up from Fallout, where it's like, yeah, I actually got like my little bro into it. And now he's actually dabbling in Sonic. I mean, so that's basically the dream right there, really.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And the one thing about this, it doesn't emit any tokens. It's all just like kind of recirculated.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting too, really? That, yeah, how does Brush tie into S4? I know it does somehow, right?
Yeah, so like everything is paired against it. Like the shop is you buy and sell in Brush. The order book is Brush. The clan battles are in Brush. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's like impressive. That's kind of like nice utility to have down the road. I mean, obviously, you know, Brush was like one of the original big like Phantom tokens all the way back to like last run. So it's cool that you guys are still like integrating and finding things, you know, for people to do with the token. You know, you could have definitely just, you know, dropped a new token on S if you wanted to and everything. So yeah, hats off on that to you know, keep that rolling and, you know, still give stuff to like those older holders and everything.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, coming up to 4 years next month.
4 years. Wow. Now that's definitely making me feel funny that it's been
your
that
age,
long.
huh?
Yeah, it was 4 years ago that we were just having a good old time on Phantom in the bull market.
Yeah, it's gotta make Rush one of like the elder tokens, dude. It just in crypto, having survived this long.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, even that alone is like, you know, huge.
But no, I mean, yeah, this is like a huge addition to S4 is like really impressive. It's really cool. I think it's like the perfect like game synergy for the blockchain. It just like makes so much more sense for one to function this way, you know.
Yeah, it's not
forget it.
Yeah, it's not too intensive on a blockchain as well either. Like a lot of games, they'll do like hundreds of you have to do hundreds of transactions a day, but that's something we wanted to avoid.
Well, yeah, you know, on top of S4 and Paintswap, you guys also have a pretty big undertaking here with, for anyone that's not aware, you know, the way this Sonic airdrop is going to work is you are basically given like an NFT, and that NFT you'll have like a certain amount available right when it drops, but then the rest of it kind of depends on, you know, like if you're going to let the NFT basically come to maturity to get 100% of your drop, or if you're going to like claim it sometime earlier, and by doing that you forfeit, you know, the remaining percent that's in the NFT. And you guys got tasked to make the market. So I mean, from what I've understood, it is kind of like a separate marketplace than like Paintswap. Like it's designed totally different, right?
Yeah, it's built from the ground up. So the NFT, you get 25% when you get the NFT, like whatever locked S you get that, and then the remainder, like you say, is vested, I think, for 9 months. And while it's vested, you can trade it on this new order book marketplace. And there's a few pairs. There's going to be S and I think USDC and maybe a third. So there should be some nice arbitrage volume going on there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a novel idea for an airdrop where people are going to be allowed to speculate on values and things like that.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea, really. And will this market still? I know on like Paintswap, you guys kind of have a thing built in with Brush where I think fees buy and burn Brush, if I remember correctly. I could be off on that. Sorry.
Yep.
So you do have something. Is there going to be something similar tied into the NFT marketplace
for this one? Yeah, it's going to be the same buyback and burn on the fees with it.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, that's also pretty big, I think, for Brush, considering like what kind of volume this marketplace is probably going to have. I mean, it's going to be front and center, I think, because obviously everybody is going to be wanting to get their airdrop, and people are going to be immediately wanting to speculate on whether, you know, should I sell my NFT? Should I claim it? Should I, you know, try to scoop up a bunch of other ones for what I think is cheap? So I think that alone, man, that's going to be like a lot of fun. Just like you're going to see interesting stuff on the marketplace like every day, I think.
Yeah.
And you'll probably hear at least like one story of some guy like Fat Finger, you know, accidentally listing his NFT for too little or something, but hopefully not. But I mean, I think it's just going to be like a lot of it's going to be exciting to be able to speculate on that. I guess as a person that loves to gamble, maybe that's my problem.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's like a little bond market. It's kind of fun, right? Like,
Yeah, but if you did like Fat Finger though, it wouldn't list it for the low amount. It's like a normal order book. You've used like centralized exchanges. It would eat into whatever orders are there, so it wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
That's,
I've definitely fat fingered one of those before.
Well, I will say that you guys have always done a pretty good job of like, you know, having little warnings and everything else. You know, it's like, are you sure you're meaning to list this far below the floor or whatever? So
yeah.
Wait, how have you seen that, Dracula? What NFTs are you dumping?
Yeah, you know, they're like, oh, this is 90% under the floor. Are you sure? And I'm like, confirm, listed.
Fascinating projects.
Yeah, one of the sneaky things people do. So say your NFT's listed for like 4.3K S. Someone would do an offer for 4.2, but without the K.
Yeah.
We had a few people fall for that back on Phantom. So now if you have to actually type in the amount. So it would be 4.3.
No, I think that's pretty nice. That's pretty generous of you guys. Not everybody would care to do that. So
yeah, they would say charge to the game.
But yeah, while you're here, I mean, you know, like I said, I had this list of just like things that, you know, you guys have going on.
Yeah, you guys have been busy, dude. Devs don't get any breaks, do they? Any vacation time?
No.
Sandwich Enterprises? No.
I think my problem would just be like separate, like how do you, you know, dedicate your time to which thing, you know what I mean? Like you guys have so many, but I saw something interesting on the list that maybe you could talk about a little bit, but I saw something really tiny print on that list that said Paint USD.
Okay.
What's that about?
Yeah, so that's something we're not talked too much about yet. So it's going to be a collateralized USD coin. It's not algorithmic. It's going to be based on the Rings protocol, and that's all I'll say about that.
Well, we got something there. So you know, you heard it here. There is a Paint USD token. Sounds interesting.
It's going to be like Rings.
It's going to work with Rings, I guess.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
We won't beat you over the head too hard about it, I guess.
All good. Well,
Sam.
you've already got told more than we've released, so you got some alpha there for anyone who's listening.
All right, yeah. Always nice to squeeze some alpha out. So, but yeah, man. We've had you on here all morning, so we'll let you run. But just want to say, really appreciate you coming on. It was long overdue, and I'm sure that here in the next few months we'll have to bring you back to kind of touch on what's going on with everything again. I know people have been asking a long time for you guys to hop on and talk about some stuff, so we really appreciate it.
No, yeah, definitely, and I appreciate you having me on. And,
yep, we'll do it again.
Yeah, nice one. Have a good rest of your stream. Take it easy,
brother. Man,
wow,
I feel like we could have just kept going on and on, because I mean, I think there was even things on the list we didn't even touch on, but it's just like, man, that's a lot of hats.
Secret Paintswap info, dude. And it'll come to light eventually. Yeah, that's wild, dude. They stay busy over there at Paintswap. I'm already plotting on what I'm gonna do with my Sonic NFT airdrop. What about you, Drac? You got a strategy in mind? Do you have a price target for S in mind that you'd be like, I'm out entirely?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what's going to be interesting about it. I think that I don't know if the numbers have changed, but I think the NFTs to get full vest are, I think it's somewhere between 6 and 9 months. I can't remember which one, but it's somewhere in that ballpark. So it is going to be interesting to see what happens. Where I think, in my opinion, I will probably be more like looking for what I think are like good deals. You know, because you got to think that the price of S could be one thing, but similar to how real NFTs work, people could theoretically, let's say they really want to try to get value out of their NFTs or they need it. Theoretically, you'll be able to list under list at a discount. So the buyer is getting a discount on the tokens basically if he can hold out. So that's the kind of stuff I'll be interested in seeing. I got a feeling you'll see a lot of people listing low, hoping like, okay, I just want to go ahead and get as much value as I can.
Yeah, there might be some cheap ones to snap up right at the start, right?
Yeah, because 25% is going to be liquid right at launch. So I imagine, especially right at launch, I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to see people trying to floor, the value to go ahead and get as much of that remaining 75% as they can.
Yeah. I'm also curious, how long do you think until someone builds a lending market off these things or allows you to borrow?
That would
against
be,
them?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's happening as we speak. That would be pretty
Yeah.
brilliant.
Seems like a low-hanging fruit, right? Because it's like,
Yeah, I mean, someone like
perfectly collateralized.
yeah, I mean, I would, someone like Silo or something. That would be interesting. Now it does get a little more, they probably have, it does take some like extra work in terms of like designing how that would work. But yeah, I would love to see that, and I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's kind of cooking that already.
Yeah. I think these are gonna be really fun, dude. Really interesting because they're gonna be disseminated so widely too. Like there's gonna be so many recipients.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of my thing is I was doing this
Yeah.
one day with the points dashboard where it was like you just, I don't know if you're like me, but it's like most people have at least more than one wallet, right?
Yeah.
So I finally just sat down one day and was like just kind of going through a bunch of old wallets and was like, oh man, like this one's getting points, this one's getting points.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's gonna be a ton of these things.
Yeah, I'm interested to see like what if this market becomes like liquid enough, like if there's enough trades happening, what kind of interesting information we might get about like long-term sentiment for Sonic, right? That's really what
Yeah,
this is like
absolutely.
kind of measuring. It's
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe these genius guys at the Sonic Labs are just bootstrapping a bonds market on chain, dude. We'll see.
Yeah, no, and I mean, yeah, that's kind of like, to me, that's just something that is, like I said, that's pretty big that Paintswap will still be able to use those transaction part of those fees to like do things with Brush. So that's going to be a lot of volume.
Yeah, hell yeah. What else we got today? I got this guy. You saw this? He's freaking checking Andre. He's saying that Sonic can't be this fast because it takes light 130 milliseconds to travel across the globe.
Man, that one's hard. I can't tell if that's just like
If this
someone
guy's
being like,
just,
is he actually saying actually, or is he just kind of playing around?
I have no idea. He says, Andre's claim is BS. Light speed remains unbroken. But then there's a bunch of people in the replies agreeing with him. Why surprise? He always does this.
Okay, so he really is going oh wait, hold on, scroll Taraxa, this guy, scroll up.
What's this?
Yeah, there's a guy from this other chain that's always, getting mad about the Sonic numbers, and he's also a major reply guy. I've seen him around. But yeah,
Mikey, you're on watch, buddy.
it's funny though. I figured like usually if someone annoys Andre enough, he's like, be gone, reply guy. So
And then you get some
I guess
free cloud out of it.
yeah. So actually it can't go to speed of light. So
yeah. But actually it can, dude. So because the validators are close together, bro. That's what Grok says. So that's the
Grok
facts.
told me.
Grok.
Yeah, there was like one last little thing I thought we'd touch on. Sam Harcourt had like a kind of like a nice breakdown, kind of just like a Q1 wrap up. Just kind of like talking about a lot of the metrics and everything, and some good stuff in here. It's pretty long, so I won't read like the whole thing, but I think some of the highlights would be that, their initial target, their goal was to hit 500 mil in TVL, which has definitely been broken.
It.
Yeah, like even today on DeFi Llama, we're above 1 billion, but he's saying it's gone above 1 billion. It's kind of staying stable around 800 to 900 million. So just about double of, what their goal was, which is, incredible. Especially coming out as kind of like a new rebranded That is not an easy feat to get to $1 billion right now. So congrats on that. They said 400 million of it is in stables, which is also an impressive number. I think a lot of people gauge how successful your chain is in terms of DeFi and everything else based on, what your stable token inflows and TVL are. So that's huge that, 8 to 900 million stabilized with almost half of it being in stable tokens is, that's pretty big. Another one here, over 100 builders, 87 of them have activated fee M. So over half the builders are, engaged with the fee M program, which is already, we've talked about this on the show before, how before fee M launched, there was a lot of, what's that going to add up to, a fraction of a penny every transaction, whatever. But we have seen with projects like Sacra and the main dexes that this thing does add up. I mean, some of these guys have already gotten to claim 6 figures in S for their projects.
This is why these guys won't ever make it, dude. These complainers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, people would rather just, complain and write arguments and do all that instead of, making something.
Are we businessmen here or something? If I'm going to knock 10 cents off your bill, you should be excited, right?
Yeah, I mean, to me, that just makes sense. You can build anywhere and not get any of your gas fees back, or you can build on Sonic and get 90% of your gas fees back. I mean, I don't know.
And also not pay very much in the first place. So it's like, even, you know what I'm saying? It's like, the cost analysis is crazy.
And I mean, that's one thing, like I said, I'm not a huge Web3 gamer person, but you're seeing the effects, of S4 and Sacra, where, Sacra is generating crazy amount of TXs, so people are obviously playing the game. So when you have something like Sonic, where it is that cheap for users to operate on, they will come and play a game. I mean, because I think that's always been part of the deal, is sort of like the TXs have always kind of been like a unattractive part of it to a lot of people, myself included. There was an old meme where it was like someone trying to play a game and it's like every 2 seconds, like a approved TX thing is coming up. Yeah. And, Sonic's done a good job with like their account abstraction features. I did play around with Sacra, and, thanks to like some of that account abstraction stuff, there were still some TXs you had to approve, but it was pretty seamless for the most part.
Yeah, I dabbled in Sacra a little bit. Kind of want to get back into it. I got distracted at it. But yeah, I remember it being quite smooth, and only like the couple initial transaction approvals is what I remember, just like to set everything up. But
yeah, they kind of have like a hybrid model. It's not like totally abstracted, but it's like you're able to like abstract like most of the stuff to where you're not having to like constantly sign things. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I would just say that the main takeaway from this is that the metrics are, well beyond any expectations that were set. So the first few months on Sonic have definitely been a success. And I think there's only more to come. I mean, we were looking an episode or 2 back on this thing that monitored social metrics, and in terms of X, Sonic was literally right there, right after the majors, right after Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum. I think there's been a lot of hype building, but I think there's still a lot more to come.
Yeah, I think things are just now kicking off. Hopefully the markets, the macro improves going into the summer, just in general. But I think we're primed. We're set well here on Sonic. There's plenty to do. There's still plenty of opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that's still just been something great about the network, has just been that there's so much to do, and there's so many opportunities, and those things are changing every single day. And there's just, always something to like look into or learn about, or, see if it's going to help, you with like your DeFi or, whatever you're creating. So yeah, here's to the first 3 months. We got many more.
Oh yeah. So yeah, if you guys out there hear about any new projects, you guys want to let us know what you're finding out there. Cause I'm always hearing stuff from all sorts of people, dude. It seems like, I mean, obviously, I get my fair share of scams thrown at me, but also a few gems. So yeah, anyone watching, you know, any projects launching soon or just launched, let us know. We'll see about talking about them on the show, checking them out.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to be gone for a couple episodes. I'm going on a trip.
So yeah,
I'm getting on
where are you going?
Going back on a boat, man. I'm getting on a boat again. So
out into international waters.
I'll try to phone in if I can, but otherwise it'll probably be a week or two before I see you guys.
Oh wow. All right.
Well, I'll be gone next week, so it'll just be a week. It won't be 2 weeks.
Okay.
Won't scare everybody quite yet.
All right.
But yeah, we appreciate you guys watching as always. Thanks to Sam for coming on from Paintswap, and we will catch you guys on Friday.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Adios.
Gmsonic is Corval and Dracula Presley. GM.